Hello everyone. Welcome to the ECE573 Advanced Embedded Logic Design Lab 5. In this lab, we are going to discuss how to implement the finite impulse response FIR filter using the SDSoC. In the previous week, we have done the vector multiplication, we have done the vector convolution, we have done the matrix multiplication. So FIR filter is nothing but the combination of all those operations. So, as discussed in the lecture, FIR filter is based upon the convolution operation where you have the filter weights. So, here the filter weights are denoted by the W0, W1 and up to W4. So, you can see that this filter, the order of the filter is 4 and the length of the filter is 5. So these are the filter weights and your input signal is convolved with the filter weights. And we need to implement this FIR filter architecture using the SDSoC. FIR filter is widely used in the most of the signal processing wireless communication applications to filter the signals or either the received signal or the transmitted signal to reduce the effect of the noise as well as to avoid the interference to the other users. So in our implementation, what we are going to do is that we are going to implement the FIR filter of say size n, that is you can call it as a filter, uh, you can say filter length. And in that one, what we are going to do is that in our PS will send the filter coefficients, that is filter weights, say W0 to Wn minus 1, along with your data, which is D0 to say DL minus 1. And then we need to send the process data, so output O0 to OL minus 1, that is filter data, back to the PS. So PS is going to store this in the memory. Your IP, FIR filter IP, is going to read this filter weights and the input data, and then it is going to process this input data using the filter weight and store the output filter data back to the memory. So the overall code main.cpp remains the same as we have done in the previous lab, where you will have the input to the filter coefficients, and then you will have the memory for the hardware output of the filter IP, and as well as the software implementation of the filter IP. So the rest of the process is same, where you do the memory allocation via SDS alloc. Then we are going to write the filter check function, where we will compare the functionality between the software implementation of FIR filter and the hardware implementation of FIR filter along with the execution time. So the software, the FIR check filter, again, it's the same one, where we first do the initialization for the input coefficients as well as the input of the FIR filter. Then we do the golden reference in the software, then the hardware function, and then we compare the functional. We will check the output of the software as well as hardware, whether they are matching or not, and at the end we find out the execution time and what is the speed up we achieve. So if we quickly go through the code, you in the main.cpp file, you need to add the desired .h file. Then you need to initialize the array. So here I'm initialize the array with the random integer values. So you can see that I'm initializing the FIR input with the in size, where the number of samples, and the FIR coefficient with the filter size, which is the number of filter weights. Okay, so I'm initializing them with the integer random values. Then I'm implementing the FIR filter. So you can see that what happens in the FIR filter, you have the weights and you get the new input samples, you do the convolution operation and you get the corresponding output sample. Okay, so what I do in the beginning, I have to implement the shift register. So you can see that this is my shift register. So what is the size of the shift register? It is the same as the filter size. So I have used the shift register array, and what I did is that I have initialized initially to all these values of the shift register to 0. So this is what I have done here. Then whenever I get the new samples, okay, so you can see that I'm writing the for loop for the number of samples or size of the input I got, and for every new sample, so here k is corresponds to j here. For every new samples I got, I need to perform the convolution operation to get the new output sample. So for every new samples, I'm performing this operation. So what I'm doing, I'm creating the when variable accumulator, okay, where I'm doing the multiplications of the output of the shift register with the corresponding weight. So initially what I'm going to do, my xk will be this one. So what I'm going to do, W4 into the output of this shift register, W3 into this one, W2 into this one, and so on. And you can see that I'm starting from here and going to here. So you can see that this is I'm starting from here, last one and going to here. And when I is equal to 0, so when I am here, I'm multiplying this and this together. Okay, so you can see that when I is equal to 0, what I'm doing, I'm multiplying the FIR coefficient 0, which is W0, with the FIR of j, that is means the corresponding input value. So I'm multiplying these two together. I'm doing the accumulation. So this is nothing but the accumulation operation. For rest of the factor, rest of the values of the I, like this one, this one, this one, this one, I'm doing the corresponding accumulation operation. Okay, and what I need to do at every clock cycle. So initially everything, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, and here I'll get the xk. At the next clock cycle, this will be 0, this will be 0, here 0, xk will be here, and here I'll get the next of x of k plus 1 if the next sample. Then I'll get 0, 0, here I'll get x of k minus x of k plus 1, and x of k plus 2, and so on. So I'm getting the next sample, next data here. Okay, and this is what I have done here in this shift register. I'm doing the shift register operation. I'm shifting the new samples inside the data. You can see that shift register 0 is the data which I'm going to press. So this data comes here at every clock cycle. Okay, so this is how I have implemented the FIR filter in the software. I'm not going to share the code how I'm going to implement in the hardware. That you need to design it by yourself and optimize it further. Then in the result check function, I'm going to check the size of what is the output of the software function and what is the output of the hardware function. And if they are matching, that means my functionality is correct. Okay, so this is the first part of the lab where we have implemented the golden reference C code and the corresponding hardware function and verified. Now, in some cases, in some cases, what you get is that you get the input data and you get the coefficient and you get the golden reference data as well. So in that case, you don't need to implement this one. You can just compare you just pass the input data which you have received and the filter coefficient data which you have received to your hardware function, and then the output of the hardware function you check with your golden reference data. So you have all the data files available with you. So if you have those data files available with you, so what you need to do is that you need to make sure that you add those data file in your source folder. Okay, so you have added these 3 data files. So you can see that I have the input.data file where I see the input signal to be filter. I have the coefficient.dat file which have the filter coefficient, and I have the golden reference.dat file which have the what is the desired output after the filtering operation. So you can generate this dat file either from the MATLAB or the Python. So this will be useful for your projects. Then where the changes will happen when you do the init operation, where you are initializing your input and the filter coefficient, you need to read that file and store the data into that corresponding your FIR in and the FIR coefficient. So this is the step which will change. Instead of generating the random filter coefficient and the random input, here you are generating the you are copying the input from the DAT file which are shared by your customer or someone else. Okay, so this is the code you need to do it. This is the one way of doing it. You can do the further optimization as per your understanding. And then when you compare the operation, if suppose you have written the FIR filter in the software as well as hardware, then what you do, you compare the output of your software with the reference sample, and this reference sample is read from this golden reference file, and the filter output is again compared with the reference sample which is read from this golden reference data. So you verify whether my output of the software is matching with my golden reference, the output of the hardware is matching with the golden reference, and then you can see that whether your functionality is correct or not. Okay, so this is the important step where you can compare the performance of your uh, where you can compare the performance of your software implementation and the hardware implementation with some Python based implementation or MATLAB based implementation, or with the data which is provided by your customer. Okay, so this is the lab part 2 of the lab, where you will be implementing the data, where you are comparing your output of your hardware function with the reference code. Okay, so few things you need to take care while following this process. One is that when you are building the project, make sure that you build the project using the Linux. You can use the emulation, that is not a problem, but make sure that you use the Linux one. And when you run the KMO should also have the access to the corresponding DAT file. So in that case, after your build is complete, you should go to this KMO emulation folder. Okay, open this sdcard.manifest file, and in that one you need to add the corresponding address, the address of the corresponding DAT file. Okay, where these DAT files are stored on your laptop, so that when your emulation start, your KMO will read the data from this DAT file. Otherwise, your code will not work. Okay, so this is the things you need to do, and after you do after you run the emulation, you just need to follow the same process we are doing for the previous one. You switch to the MNT directory, then you check whether all the files are there, and you will see that all the files which you need are there in that corresponding ls directory, and then you execute the corresponding ELF file, and you will get the corresponding execution time as well as the output, whether it is a pass or fail. Again, these are the KMO results are fine for the functionality check, but they are not accurate for the timing check. For the timing check, you need to test it on the hardware, and the boards are already connected to the network, so you can always test your design on the hardware. You can change the emulation to the hardware, generate a SD card files, and then copy the SD card file along with this DAT files into the SD card, and then you can execute your code on the hardware. Okay, so that is the things you can explore on your own. So for this lab, you can do the 2 homeworks. Again, both the homeworks are optional. So if you do the 2 homeworks, you get the 2 marks. If you do the 1 homework, you get 1 mark. One first homework is that you need to whatever we have done in the lab is the basic implementation of the FIR filter. Then you need to add the HLS and the SDS pragma. Then you need to optimize the filter performance further. Second homework is that when the filter coefficients are symmetric, okay, that means if you have the filter coefficients as W0, W1, W2, W3, and W4. In that case, you can see that when the filter coefficients are symmetric, W0 is equal to W4 and W1 is equal to W3. So by exploiting this property, you can further reduce the complexity of the filter. And these are also called as a linear phase FIR filter, and they are widely used in the wireless communication one. But the main thing from the architecture perspective is that your number of multipliers can be reduced by half, okay, at most half. So how to exploit the symmetric property, and how can you you need to design the hardware, you need to implement the filter so that you can further reduce the complexity. Okay, so the second homework is that you need to implement the symmetric filter FIR linear phase FIR filter with the symmetric filter coefficient and compare its complexity with the non-symmetric version where you don't exploit the property of the filter coefficient symmetry. Okay, so all the necessary files are shared in the drive folder. You need to make use of those files and then verify the functionality, timings, and then submit your report.